fuck it. That song is fucking lit. Alright, really quick, let me just get the chat in here. Thank you everyone for coming and hanging out. Let me do this shit real quick here. Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be doing a classroom with Mr. Wayne Gonzalez and my co-host here, Jeremy Bird, who's now using XSplit. Let's get the chat. Let's get that chat in here, boy. Alright. Let's get that chat. That chat. That lit fucking chat. Alright. Let's cut all that shit out. Oh, went too far. Apparently, according to Tony, I'm gonna be playing real one music next time on my next chat, next live. I love that. I love that song too. That shit's good. Let's see. I don't think this chat really nah, it doesn't look that good like that. So we're going to keep it over here, just like that for now. Sorry, gentlemen. It's gotta look like that for now. You can barely see it though. It's a bummer. There's no way to make it like good though. There's no way to have a good chat in here. Let's see. Let's see. Nah, it still looks squished. It looks squished. Sorry, gents, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just keep it like that for now. Little baby chat for today. So guys, today, if you don't know, Resin King handles, they're new on the scene. They're fucking dominating now with the artistic integrity here by Wayne. Really quick before we get into it, Jeremy, what are you drinking? Oh, hold on. Your mic is off. Say something.
Okay.
There we go. That's a lot better.
There we go. I am drinking this beautiful Sweetwater 420 IPA.
Very nice. What does it taste like? Does it taste like Sweetwater?
Pine trees and Georgia butthole.
And I'm being a bougie bitch right now, so I'm gonna drink the rest of this red wine that I had the other day, and I'm gonna enjoy that. Wayne, what's up, buddy?
Well, what up, guys?
Dude, did you build that? Where are you right now? Are you in like your garage or something?
This is the garage slash workshop.
Did you build that yourself?
Oh man, hands and needles. I was here like for like 3 years straight, just completing this little garage.
Hold on, can you move closer to the mic? Your audio is a little low. There we go.
Let's see. Better?
Yeah, a little better.
Let's see.
Let's see,
Can you hear better now?
Maybe see if I can boost you.
Better now?
Yeah, there you go.
You're on YouTube, Will.
All right.
There you go. Man, really quick before we start out, I want to do a little shout out to a couple newer members in the community that actually been doing lives and stuff like that. I know we have an old crew of people, like you got Eddie, you got Bracken, you got Tony, you got Grandmaster Smokes or Grand Flex Smokes or whatever the fuck he goes by this day. Douglas Terrell, always doing lives, always showing off them clouds. I want to do a big shout out to Bob. I can't say his last name because I'm gonna butcher it. I don't know how to say Bob's last name. Do you know it? Does anyone else know how to say his last name?
Go.
That works. That works well enough. But he just finished a live. He's in the whole competition for the shirts. He's really becoming more and more a bigger part of the community, which I like when people like start doing lives and start getting more involved. So that's great. Hope to see him at some meetups. He says he's gonna be out in Vegas, and of course, Mr. Cars from the Philippines. He's a YouTube reviewer as well. He does all that stuff out there, and he's been in a lot of hang sessions and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Thank you to those two guys coming out and really, being a part of the community. I really appreciate it. So, Resin Kings. Resin King or Resin Kings? Is it Kings or King?
Kings.
Kings, okay. I met Wayne in Vegas for the first time. I didn't really know him, got to hang out. He was at the Phoenix HMD booth, fucking working his balls off, sweating, fucking packing bowls, making sure everyone was having a good time. And I looked down at all the hookahs there, and I noticed something. I noticed these handles. And I was like, what the fuck are these handles? What are these? These are so weird. So before I think I was standing at the hookah looking at the handle, and Wayne comes up to me. I didn't even know Wayne at that point, and he's like, you like it? I was like, yeah. What are these handles? And he's like, yeah, man, those are pretty cool, right? I was like, yeah, man, I've never seen, because when you see them in person, they blow everything else out of the water. The color, the shape, the length, how they just how they look, they make the whole hookah pop out. And I was curious. I didn't know much then about these Resin King handles. I'm not even sure if they really had a name then. Those were like the prototype babies, right?
Yeah, so there were 5 prototypes that were given out for the show, so we can help out Ron at the show. So we gave out 5 demos, 5 prototypes to Jeremy. As you can see he's posting his in his little camera. He's smoking out of it now. We give out one to Ron, one to Neve, one to Travis, and one to a good friend of mine, Mo, from from the Velvet Room.
Nice, man. Like I'm looking at behind you, and you said you built that right when you moved in. You basically.
It was just a joke. No.
Oh, I thought you built it, because I'm getting to the part where it's like, okay, we have a lot of creators now. I just did a couple days ago the creators classroom, and obviously it didn't have all the creators, but we got to show off Bracken Cox, the pack mats. We got to show off, everyone knows Moses Hoses, Mr. Derek Moses, like his amazing leather work that he works with. And I wanted to spotlight Wayne too, but Wayne has like, I feel like you needed your own classroom to more talk about, because these handles are really amazing. Now, if you look above Wayne here, these are some of the videos of some of the products that he's created for members in the community. The one all the way to the right there, the red and white one, man, that one catches my eye every single time. It is so unique, so vibrant, it pops. I mean, those rings, the red rings that he created for Tony there, if you don't know, that's Tony's hose. Don't even try to think about buying that hose. Don't be hitting him up, asking him for that hose. It's already claimed for. Now, that hose is amazing, man. Like, what drove you to come up with the concept? Because obviously you were a consumer, just like the rest of us. We're all consumers. We all started smoking hookah. What drove you to be like, you know what, I want to make some handles?
Well, what it was is that, as everybody's seen, I know a lot of people have seen our extensive bowl collection. I mean, we have different types from Hookah John, Mason. We have old eggy bowls. We have old OG bowls, stone bowls. I have relics bowls. It's just, I wanted to give a different feel to say, you know what, this is what I wanted and this is what I like. So it shows everybody that, you know what, I can customize it so that I don't have the same as everybody else. Everybody can go out and get a standard D hose and say, you know what, I got this hose. It's a wide draw, but it's all the same. Mm-hmm. Everything is the same colors. They have, they might mix it up for a different shape or whatever. They used to have the glass. Now they have the full aluminum. It's just, it doesn't explain the person, when they get their product. I want people to see that there's a better way to, enhance their session, but also their product, to show off what they own. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can put a little of themselves in these products.
Exactly, because anyone, I think, who's not necessarily a loud smoker, but who smokes at home, and I think that's a lot of these people that we have in the chat right now. We all like to have something custom to us, something that shows off, like, whether it be like our stature in the hookah community, or how we like to smoke, or what colors we like. That's why there's different color bases. That's why there's different color stems. You can buy the same bowl that I have, but you can buy it in a color you like because that's your favorite color and it matches your whole color scheme. This is just another example. And I always love when people within the community take it upon themselves, because you're a consumer before, you're a hookah smoker at home or whatever, and you're sitting there and you're like, man, you have that passion, you have that drive to create something, and that's awesome. That does separate you from the average person, is that you are willing to put in the effort, you're willing to put in the time and create this product and give back to the community and be like, hey guys, like I'm one of you, and this is something, I know that a lot of consumers out there, they like different products and they like good products and products that show off creativity, and this is, Jesus Christ. Look at the gold and black, how it basically it sparkles. And I know you made another handle here, which I don't think I have, that you made it for Paul. And Paul is a huge Harry Potter fan, right? He's a big Harry Potter fan, and he wanted a wand type handle, and you accommodated him. And it's great that they can people can message you and hit you up with their creative ideas, and you can work with them on a one-on-one basis. That's the greatest thing here. He's not blocking you out with any type of batch releases or anything. He's customizing, just like Derek Moses will sit there and ask you what stitching you want, what type of color you want on the leather, if you want anything stamped or engraved in it. Wayne's doing the same thing, and he's kicking it up a notch and doing it in handles. This is fantastic thing. Like, Jeremy, what's your take on customizable handles?
Well, I'm a sucker for color, for one. That being the case, I bought 7 hoses before Derek Moses even came out with the batch release. Mm-hmm. I bought one for almost every single one of my hookahs because I wanted something to match, something that had style and class, which is something that a year ago the hookah industry was in some ways missing. I know that Brandon George from Stone Bowls does some custom bowls, but you can only take that so far without your design input, without your feeling, without your personal style.
Yeah, it's different when you're buying. Like, say, like, you go to a website and they have a bowl up for sale. Let it be a batch release or anything else, and it has a color that you really like. Now everyone can buy that same color. Like, Wayne, correct me if I'm wrong, but all these hoses that you're making are completely different. No hoses. No handle is the same.
Yeah, no. So what I'm trying to go for is just to give a different look to each one. I know that everybody, likes the standards and the repetitiveness of, the same shape, the same size. They like a certain style. They like that. And we will get into that with the batch release that we will do to keep them, like, kind of the same. But yet again, like I said, this is more for the custom, for people to get into and say, you know what? I like this shape. I like this style. I love more wood. I love less wood. I want more resin. To give them the option to weigh in and actually be a part of creating what is theirs.
Yeah, there's I know Caleb, he likes a lot more wood than your normal man, but that's neither here nor there. But I think the thing that's really cool is that when you say batch releases, you're not going to discontinue doing custom orders for people, right?
No. So like I said, this is more of a pastime for me. It's more of a hobby. Like I said, to keep me humble and get to know people on a personal level, to create something with someone and get into it where, this was created by two people with different ideas and different aspects of it, and say, this is what I want. We can create the best looking thing for you.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of people. People like to make the argument that hookah has no creativity, that the U.S. market is dying, that overseas is killing us. But you have creators. You have Pac Match. You have Derek Moses hoses. You have the Phoenix HMD, fantastic HMD by the way, and you have Kyle Smith with the Relics Bowl. Man, like, you have so many people this year coming out with new products, and then you have the Resin Kings handle. This is amazing. Like, we have so many creators making so many different aspects of your hookah. If you guys got all together, you guys would create, like, the craziest setup, imaginable. It's fantastic that the product that you're offering and the amount of ability that you're able to customize this as well. Really quick before we get back into the handles, Wayne, like, how'd you start smoking hookah? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I was that kid that went to high school, and I was always on the straight arrow, where I would go to football practice, do ASB, do track and field, and I would pretty much stay away from the party scene. Once I graduated high school, it all changed.
It was game on, girl. Bring the beers and the kegs. Let's do it.
So I ended up I started drinking earlier, and then one of my friends from SoCal hit me up. He says, "Hey, we're at Nile Cafe in Colton. If you want to come down, it's a hookah lounge." And I said, "Well, I don't smoke, but I'll go hang out with you guys because I haven't seen him in years." And I went out there, and he has a flavor. It's a gummy bear.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, just try it. And I was all right. So I tried, and yet, cough like a little bitch, and that's what happens when your first hookah. Everybody remembers their first hookah. And I was like, you know what? It's not for me. And then I don't know what the hell happened. It turned around where I was shopping for costumes. So you know what? Let's go smoke hookah. Let's go try it again.
Oh, he got hooked. He got the bug, ladies and gentlemen.
And we went to another hookah lounge in Moreno Valley, California, and I ended up working there. I ran it, and since then I've been trapped in it, and I haven't left. I mean, I've met thousands of different people, from the average hookah smoker to the enthusiasts to vendors to creators. And I've got to meet a lot of great people through this. I mean, even though I didn't start off saying, "Oh, hookah was a thing," it was bad for you. At this point, it's like I give two shits. It's my hobby. It's my passion. I love everything about it. The science behind it, that everybody thinks that there's nothing behind it. You just put it in a bowl and go about your day. There's different aspects that I love about it. That your pack methods, what you can use, what you can accessorize with it, what works well with it. I mean, to the point where if need be, if I ran out of grommets, we're using fucking paper towels and tinfoil. It doesn't matter.
The old school method.
So do you find yourself thinking of hookah as a craft when you're making a bowl? Like when you're packing a bowl for the day, it's, that's your own craft. That's a way you can customize it.
Mine is a little bit longer. I mean, it takes me a while to pack a bowl. Reason being is because, like I said, my bowl collection is extensive, and I take really what's it called, personal appeal to all my bowls, due to the fact that I know somebody handmade this, and I appreciate every bowl that I have, to ones that I bought, to ones that were given to me as gifts. When I pack my bowl, I love to stare at it for a good minute, just say, you know what, fuck, that's an amazing bowl, to depend on what tobacco I'm using, because I mean, everybody who's out there has a preference on what they like and what they dislike, but being me, I get to try a lot of different things, because here in SoCal, we're accessible a lot more than everybody else. Everybody's like, an hour, 2 hours away, where I can just go and grab it and try it right there on the spot, and not have to wait for online vendors or all of this nonsense. So it gives me a great sense of appreciation every time I pack a bowl, saying, look, I have my hands on some Azure, I got my hands on some Trifecta, some Alpha Comma. It's just readily available, where that my appreciation towards it, I take a little bit longer when I pack my bowl, so that I in my mind, I'm genuinely thanking everybody for coming out with what they're doing.
That's an interesting segue into something, and I thought this was kind of a hookah podcast. We did talk about kind of what we are drinking, but we never talked about what we're smoking. So
that's so true. That's why you're here, Jeremy, to keep the show on the straight and narrow, man. So what I'm smoking here, Opertina pear, and Jesus Christ, I have a little bit of cane mint left, like a tiny bit. When you get to the bottom and you're like, I'm gonna save this for a special occasion. This is the special occasion. I busted out the cane mint for you, buddy. So that's what I'm smoking. I got 3 coals. Smoking out of my mat pair. Shout out to Sky Hookah Distribution. With a Urso tray, Alpaca Apache bowl. Shout out to Omar and Alpaca bowls. It's an Apache, which is one of my favorite bowls. It's kind of like my everyday bowl. I have about 4 of them at this point, different colors. I just love the versatility, how you can either fluff, dense, or semi-dense, or whatever you want to do in this bowl, and you're still going to get a great session out of it. What about you, Germs? What are you smoking? Because I see you have the second camera there, and you're representing the Phoenix HMD. Shout out to Ron and Neve.
Yeah, I also got the Stonefoot yellow and white on top of the B2
Mm-hmm.
using the Resin Kings as always with the B2.
Now, can you show us a little bit closer to the camera, because it doesn't do it justice. It's very fucking nice. It has a lot of detail in it. Has a lot of
Let me go
different
over here.
colors. Yeah, there you go. It has a lot of different colors blended into it, man. That's something completely unique, and that's something completely different that no one else in the world has that hose. That is a complete custom piece right there that only Jeremy has, thanks to Wayne.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful piece. Let's see if I can get the whole thing over here.
It almost looks like it's marble.
It does, and if you hold it up in the light, you can see the core. It's something that the camera won't show you, but it looks like there's a core here in the middle, which is really, really cool with these transparent resins. Is that it takes a whole new shape when you put it in the light.
How now? What is the weight? What do you feel like the weight is on that? Do you like a heavier? You seem like a guy that likes a heavier hose.
I go back and forth.
Yeah.
I go back and forth between the heavier hoses. When I'm working during the day, I like to use like a lighter hose, which would be like my B2 handle. It all depends on kind of what day and kind of what I've been smoking, how long I've been smoking throughout the day, whether I'm working or not.
Yeah.
It just, my hookahs are like my mood. It's all kind of, it transpawns in some way.
Yeah, some days you want to smoke a mint, some days you want something flavorful. I know some days like it's almost like it's a habit of mine. Like in the morning, I need that like morning glory with my cup of coffee. Like that's something like gets me going. That flavorful, robust, of that coffee flavor. It's almost like something you intertwine into your everyday life almost. It's like you need something throughout the day, a little something different all the time. And I go back and forth between slim hoses and, right here I got the freaking gnarl hose, which is a beat stick. So if anyone tries to rob me in the middle of the day, tries to come into my house, they're gonna get beaten with this handle. So
that's what you carry to work with you, right?
This is what I carry to work with me, just in case. I live in New York. It's dangerous out here.
Well, back to kind of what I'm smoking. Shout out to Raphael from Azure. I got a new flavor in, which is the Bengal Citrus. Just got it in. And I'm telling you, I am extremely impressed by this flavor. The reason why I'm so impressed is that I hate florals. I've always hated florals. When I first started smoking hookah was back in my high school days, and I kind of stopped as soon as I had kids.
Yeah.
Jesus was born.
No.
Shout out to all the parents that we have here, that make it work, man. If you got to smoke in your bathroom like Jewel and, do what you got to do to get your fix. But
Shout out to Ham. Shout out to Ham. That's all I'm going to say. But, and then I kind of picked it up and back up again after I was done with the, done raising them on early on in about 2007, 2008. Got into the whole Tangiers thing. And then about 2 or 3 later, I just I'm going to smoke cigars now. So I got into cigars for a long time. And then I got back into hookah. But hookah has always been a part of my life. And ever since then, I could not stand florals. And Raphael, I seen Brandon post something about Bengal Citrus. And I was bugging him. He's like, no, I can't. It's a Russia exclusive. As soon as he got that exclusivity lifted off of him and I was able to get some, I'm telling you, man, it's a killer of a flavor. K-Peach, if you're a floral guy, is no longer king. I'm telling you, it's that good of a flavor.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe bring a tiny bit to Chicago. Now, Wayne, Resin Kings. Why the name Resin Kings?
Legitimately, I was sitting here discussing it with Alyssa, and I was like, you know what?
Who's Alyssa?
Alyssa is my better half, the one that keeps me sane.
The best half.
The best half. Let's just say what it is.
She is my best half. She's the one who keeps me sane. I mean, legitimately, I put in anywhere from 45 to 60 hours a week at work.
What do you do for work? So people get to know you a little better.
AT&T. I am a retail sales consultant, so I mean, I do anything from your DirecTV account all the way to business account.
Woo.
So I handle a lot of accounts throughout the week, and on my time off or when I get home, I'm back in here making something new. And she's right there saying, you know what, come to bed. And I'm like, no, not right now. So she'll go knock out. But at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I roll in, she's just like, all right, it was a good day. Get some rest, and we'll do it tomorrow. She does give me crap about it, but it's okay because I need to spend some time with her as well.
Yeah.
But she does support me in this avenue, which I highly appreciate. Like I said, she is my best half in most cases, where that she helps me pick out colors and types of wood. Because if anybody knows me personally, I am colorblind. I was born that way. I was born broken, so I can't say much on it. But so she does help me pick out colors to match and to design for all these handles, so which I do highly appreciate from her.
That's crazy. You create these crazy color schemes for these handles, and you're colorblind. So it's amazing that you have. I guess we can call it somewhat of a disability. I'm no stranger to having a disability in that aspect, but being colorblind is way different. Man, that's crazy that you have this thing and you still overcome it. Can I touch on a little bit? What was your first setup in hookah? Like your first home setup that you're like, yeah, I'm the shit. I got the best shit in the house right now. I'm smoking out of the fucking. I got my own hookah. You know, before you go into the deep end and you go into the crazy thing and you start fucking becoming an enthusiast. What was your first hookah setup for the house?
My first hookah setup was the old school KM with the pearl balls in the middle. Mm-hmm. So it was a 3-foot hookah. Legitimately, you can look at me and I would say, fuck yeah, my shit's better than yours. I didn't buy it at a smoke shop in a $30 piece. I mean, I had the DOs with the glass tip, and I was stunned. Like,
yeah,
like
you were doing a couple of these, fucking like, yeah. I'm the shit. Fucking get off me. I know what I'm doing now.
You know, showing people how it's done. Legitimately, I stuck with KMs for a while. I didn't branch out for maybe 2 years. But it was always a go-to because I had 3 or 4 of them sitting around that were eye-pleasing, which they all had the pearl in the middle, their little balls of pearl in the middle from blue, black to greenish, which I believe I had.
Do you still have this hookah around? Is this still like as a reminder? Like I still got my first little Mia hookah in the corner over there as a reminder of where I came from.
I gave them all away due to the fact because I was upgrading. I was trying to bring the hookah love to other people, so I ended up giving them away. I sold one to some of the people that I actually still have them now who use them to this day. It was just for the love of the passion to give something that I started with to say, hey, you know what? It's a great beginner hookah. It's really nice. It's long. It's tall. Show this bitch off. That's what it was. You know, take love and pride in this product like I did, and you can have it. And then they hit me up. You know what? I want it.
Much respect. You know what? I always tell people when people hit me up and ask me, hey, Dr. Noob, what's the best thing I can smoke out of? I tell them what I'm smoking out of currently, but I always tell people, I'm like, listen, you're not going to know the contrast between what I'm smoking out of and what the difference is between a more traditional KM pipe. So I'm always telling people, hey man, you got to start out at the bottom because you have more of an appreciation. You know, when I first started smoking out of a KM, gradually moved up and up. I got a Starbuzz pipe, then I moved up, and now I'm smoking out of my Matte Pear, which is basically my everyday pipe. And I always tell people, start from the bottom, work your way up. I know it's going to cost a little bit more money, but I do it for the long run. You get that knowledge that of knowing the differences. Really quick before we touch on anything else, I want to give a couple shout-outs to the people who are in the chat here. Let's scroll up real quick. I know we got a couple people who tune in all the time, like Tony. What's up, Tony? From Canada? Callie? Callie's in Denmark. I love Callie so much. Very entertaining. We have Gregory or Dimitri from Sky Hookah Distribution. We'll be seeing you in a couple days, guys. We got Matt Dezen from the AM Hookah Podcast. Adrian Harner. Those guys are lovely. Check them out. They're on YouTube. Those guys, man, I usually have their podcast in the background when I'm doing some work on videos or whatnot, and it's always a great time to see what those guys are working on. Their podcasts have come fucking leaps and bounds. I mean, they're almost like a staple in the hookah community where people make sure they tune in every week. They have a weekly podcast, and it's very hard to do a weekly podcast. I can't keep up with those guys. They're out of control. Badia from Alpha Kama, if you haven't smoked passion fruit from Alpha Kama, what the fuck are you doing? They also have the Midnight line, which is out. And man, Fallen Dragon is one of my favorite flavors. I cannot keep it in stock enough. And I need to talk to Badia ASAP about getting more Fallen Dragon. The Dark Leaf line is fucking leaps and bounds. It's very flavorful and gives you that nice little like tobacco dark notes. Caleb, our resident guy who's up to no good, Mr. Cactus himself, Chris Deladillo. I don't know how to say that name right, man. I'm really bad with last names.
Chris Degadillo.
This is why Jeremy's on here, because I am like the Matt Dezen of the classroom where I just cannot pronounce people's names right. We have Narek. If you don't know Narek, check out Heaven Leaf, man. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, non-tobacco. It has tea leaves, man. I will tell you this. When it comes to Heaven Leaf, and I don't know, Wayne, if you tried it out yet, man, their peppermint blows some of the tobacco mint flavors out of the fucking water. And
it'll kick your teeth in.
It will kick
It'll
your
literally
teeth.
kick your teeth in.
Yeah, it is so strong to have a whole bowl of that stuff. And I know non-tobacco stuff has gotten a bad rap. Try some Heaven Leaf. I'll give you my code so you can check it out, get a nice little discount. Man, I'll even give you a good 3 flavors to check out for them. It's fantastic. Man, I can't say enough about Heaven Leaf. Check it out. Who else we got in here? We had
Nino.
We got Nino. Mason Bowles will be seeing you in a week, buddy. Thank you for making a bigger venue. I know last time we were down there, it was a hot box, man. We had fucking I want to say we had 70 people in there easily.
I'll tell you that
it
we
was
were
amazing.
told to be quiet a couple of times. We need to bring the volume down a little bit.
Yes.
Because when Hookah University enters the room, we get loud and we get proud.
I'm sorry, Nino. It happens, brother. You want to invite people from up north. We get loud, brother. You know how we do. And me and you are going to have a beer, and me and you got to talk about some stuff when I get down there, so I look forward to seeing you. Paul Salio, Salad, Mr. Paul, or we can just call him Eddie. Whatever you want to call him. Doesn't matter. They're the same person at this point.
Petty.
Paul, I heard you're coming down to Chicago. You better let me know if this is a real thing, because you didn't tell me that. So we have a lot of people in here right now. I thank you everyone for tuning in. So let's get back to the man of the hour, Wayne, with Resin Kings here. Wayne, what are your favorite aspects of hookah? Because I know mine are basically it's crazy that we can connect with people all across the United States, all across the world at this point. I mean, we know people from all around the world now, and we can connect over this thing that we like to call a hookah. And we might not have much in common. Some people might be annoying sometimes, but when we're smoking a bowl, we all have that in common. What's your favorite aspect of hookah, of smoking hookah?
I mean, realistically, the whole reason behind why I smoke and continue to smoke is that it's for the social aspect. Is to keep everybody communicating, talking. I mean, I have those times where you're sitting on your phone and you're not interacting with the people around you, and sometimes it makes you feel left out. Being so quiet or so detached from the world. And with hookah, it's amazing. Even though, I mean, we're on fucking electronics right now talking, but I mean, we're in different states, you know what I'm saying? And we're still enjoying each other's company, which is a great aspect behind it, that hookah is still bringing us together and sitting down and having this conversation and enjoying what we do on a daily basis. It's phenomenal, to say the least, saying that, you know what, I can smoke with somebody, even though they're not right next to me in a different country or a different state, saying that, hey,
Yeah.
smoking, how's your day been, tell me what's going on, sitting down and personalizing with somebody and being able to be a friend that it doesn't have to be right there.
That's
you can
true.
reach out on the web or via text message or whatever, and just shoot them a quick link and say, hey, jump in, come converse with us, have a good time, drink and party. take dabs with Jeremy online, master pups.
Dab. But it's funny because like when we meet up in person, it's like we almost never skip a beat. Like it's funny because it's like almost like you hang out with them, you know, you just pick up where you were talking, and it's like you're not a stranger. And I think that's one of the main things. Me, Jeremy, Travis, Wayne, we try to foster that sense of community. So when you meet these people in RL, IRL, it's almost like you never missed anything. Like you were just hanging out with them yesterday. And it also has that bittersweet thing when you do meet people in person and you're hanging out with them for like the weekend, like when we go to Chicago, and then you realize, oh shit, I have to leave, and then you kind of miss them, because you it is like a little family, But maybe sometimes it's good because sometimes family can get a little crazy sometimes. So it's like you go there for the weekend and you hang out with them, and then like, okay, I'm gonna go back to where I'm from, but you can go back to where you're from, and then that's it. But really quick, can you talk a little bit about the process without giving too much away about kind of the start to the finish of the creation process, about how you create these handles?
Well, it all stems from picking out what I want to use for material wise. You pick the wood, the resin, the coloring. We drop it down into a pot to pressurize it, so it removes all the little imperfections to remove all those bubbles, which will potentially cause a breakout when I'm cutting it down. Once it's cured completely, then I take it out and I cut it up. In my stands, sitting there, I always wonder, what will look good on a different design
Mm-hmm.
to give something a different appeal. So, like as you guys can see, like the white handle right there with the red striping. I have a different handle that's white with the same red coloring, but just no red dye,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a mixture of like a splash of red with a lot of white. It has like one side, it has a section of red, like I want to say blotch on it, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can get a clean look to this. So in this handle, once I cured it all with one color, I cut it out and put these grooves in it, and then I recast it with the red,
Yeah.
so it gives him those stripes. And it was the colors that he wanted, but he said I can do as I please with this. So I said, you know what, let me try this.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it has the white resin with the uh, opaque red and the metallic red in one, so it pops out like no tomorrow.
I gotta say that is pretty amazing. But really quick, before we get too far in that, like I have a picture up here of a block of wood. Now, this is the difference between me, who has no creative artistic integrity, and someone like you who can look at a piece of wood and be like, you know what, this is gonna be fucking awesome. This is gonna be amazing. This little piece of wood is gonna be someone's handle, and I'm gonna go from like, from A to Z, and this is how it's gonna go. So right now I have up a little piece of wood that you sent me a picture of a while ago, and now I'm gonna switch it up to basically, I guess, a more of a defined piece where you start narrowing it out for the actual handle itself. It will be up there momentarily for everyone else here. Like it's crazy. So do you cut all these pieces yourself?
Yeah, so what it is that I mean we buy them in blocks or we buy them in strips, and what we do is we cut them out to length on what size handle we're trying to put in there, or how much wood we want, and it gives it a more refined look. So like you don't have it up, but like Paul's handle, he has a Hawaiian koa, and it's an amazing wood. So once I stabilized it and I cut it out, he said, you know what, I would like more wood in there, and I said, all right. So let me throw some drops of resin in sections so that it gives it that flair. I mean, if anybody can see it, it's on my Instagram. It's on
Like
Facebook.
I just put it up on the Facebook chat now. It should be live. So is this the handle that you made for Paul?
Let me see. It's not generating. I said, oh, that block is up there. That's what they look like, pre-cut, which looks like crap. But once we cut it out, it looks.
But I mean, that's a testament to what you create. That you can create something out of nothing. I mean, don't. I know you're not gonna toot your own horn. I'll do it for you. And it's fucking amazing that you're able to create this product. out of nothing. Same thing with people like Derek Moses. Same thing with the people who create life out of clay. It's amazing that you can look at a piece of material and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make this something amazing.
So yeah, that's the one I made for Paul. It is the coal wood, shaped like an Elder Wand handle with his silver, his white pearl resin in there. So it just gives an aesthetic look to eye pleasing is what we were going for. And from his comments, he's in love with it.
Yeah, I mean, I put up another picture now. Man, that thing got some length on it. I love, man. How do you get that marble look on it? Is fantastic, man.
The marble is by the. It's a powder.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powder metallic. Once we drop it in, and we mix it up with the resin, it gives it that marble look. Once we polish it up and finish it off, every piece that we have, we do a buffing process where we put on a coat of wax on it,
mm-hmm.
so it gives it that long-lasting marble look and clean brightness to it, where it keeps it smooth.
All right, so really quickly, without giving the secrets away, what is this process here that you have? So I have the piece of wood that looks like it's coated in some type of material, and you have it on. I guess it's like see, I'm not too educated on this. Can you tell me what's happening in this picture next to you with the wood?
So that's the lathe itself. So what it is, it's just a turning tool. It turns at a high speed, and I take my turning tools and I cut through it. I shape it down to a round, and then I start to etch in the design that I want. And depending on where the wood and the resin connects, you will see that it starts to bring that vibrant look out, which I don't know if you guys can see it here, but I do have the one I made for Alyssa has the tiger stripe wood in it,
mm-hmm.
where you can see the grain in it. But yet again, I gave her 3 slits so she can still see her resin, and then it bows up to colors. So it has a pink, purple, and black, which looks like polka dots. And legitimately, when we pour this, we pour it at different angles, where we're not knowing what it's going to come out to look like.
Mm-hmm.
But once we cut it down, it starts to bring out the design and the texture behind it, and it shows it off so much more once we polish it, that you get this finished product.
That's crazy, man. I think it's absolutely stunning. Like Bob just said here, it is absolutely stunning. It's fantastic. I can see a lot of people. Like, you're gonna be a very busy man. Now, how long would you say it takes from start to finish when it comes to making these hoses? Because this doesn't look like it's a 2-hour project. This isn't something you're gonna be like, you know what? I got a bunch of free time. I'm just gonna make one. Like, it looks like you put a lot of heart and soul into each one of these handles here. And how long does that take?
It averaged anywhere from 7 hours to on up. I mean, just for Paul's handle to get it down crisp, because what happened was when I was cutting it, I noticed that the back end was a little lacking, so I recasted his back end to give him that bulge of resin at the back tip, so it gives it more of a hand filling, a grip where he can place his hand at the bottom. His alone, I want to say, all in all, time in casting, cutting, and polishing took me 15 hours.
Jesus Christ. And that's not, you're not sitting down 15 hours. That's a couple days of work, to make sure it comes out the way, you want it to go. I think, really quick, I think Caleb had a question. Caleb, if you can just, okay, Caleb's question here. Could you make a resin handle with brass or wood? I think, well, he does use wood. I think maybe his question is, can you add a metal to it?
Like, is he looking for tips, end pieces, or?
See, this is the question, guys. Like, it's so customizable that you have to be a little bit more specific. So if you have any questions, please type them in down below. Now, Jeremy, I believe that this is your B2 in the picture we have up here on right next to Wayne.
That is correct. Wayne was like, "Yo, I'm making you a handle for that bronze."
It looks amazing, man. Like, man, if I had, like, this picture has everything that you could ask for in fall. Like, it just goes perfectly with the flowers behind it and the pumpkin. It just stands out really great, man. So, I mean, I'm definitely, getting one made because I am a big fan. Bob says really quick, how does he place an order? And this is a question I wanted to ask. I know a lot of more and more creators are coming out with Etsy shops and websites and all that stuff. I know you're still just like you're starting out. You're trying to get the craft down. You're trying to get all those one-on-one orders out. Is there any way in the future we could see like an Etsy shop, or how can they possibly order it?
Well, we're working on putting up a site either through Etsy, or I was looking through one of the sites I was recommending, Squarespace. We're just looking at the logistics of what it's going to cost monthly to maintain that shop, and like I said, we're going to put it through there. Legitimately, anybody can actually hit me up and say, "Hey, look, this is what I want." They have my Instagram is on there, my Facebook's on there. If they want my number, they can hit me up on Messenger. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I reply to everybody who is showing a real interest in it and saying, you know what, I want to customize so that I can bring a better light to the hookah community and say, look, this is what people are looking at. Because I mean, there's 1,000 people like us, and there's like 1,000 people like Chris who don't know what they want, but they say, hey, I seen this. This is what I want. This is the color that I want. Can we make it happen? And say, you know what? Let's do it. So, I mean, they can hit me up personally, but we will have a shop up soon, very soon, once we get all the handles that we want pre-made and cut for the site that we'll throw up there for the batch release. And then, like I said, it's more of a custom where they can hit me up one-on-one. I'm not going to deter anybody away. They're more than welcome to hit me up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm normally up anyways. So just hit me up at any time that you feel that you're up and say, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking. Can we make it happen? And we will go from there.
Fantastic. That's super exciting that, you're going to have an easier route for people. Is there any possible way when they order, like I know it's hard to when people don't know what they want, is there any possible way to create like a kind of like a questionnaire, like be like I know Edith when she makes her like the tassels and stuff for the hookah here, should be like, okay, what 2 colors do you want? What what type of length do you want? Like short, medium, or long, or like do you want it skinnier or stuff like that? I think might be a good avenue to like have that questionnaire if you do put up a maybe like a shop or something, so people can more like think in their own head to visualize it a little bit better, so it makes your job a little bit easier.
Yeah, realistically, I have no idea what these sites offer. So I'm going to say I'm not sure what they will allow me to do.
Mm-hmm.
If it is possible, like I said, they can put the questionnaires in there. I normally know that most of the sites, they link up to their email, so they send them through email once the question goes through. But yet again, like I said, I'm not going to deter anybody away. They're more than likely to hit me up personally if they need to, if they want a question answered. Because, like I said, this is more of the custom where that they want to get hands on and say, you know what, let's talk about this for a while. We can. I'm not going to deter anybody when I say, you know what, you have to wait a couple of days and say I'll get back to you. No, I will legitimately sit there and call you one-on-one. I know I've been ringing Paul's ear off about his handle. Hey, look at this. Is there something that I'm missing, something that you want before I ship this out? And he's been a great sport about it and talking with me and saying, no, I love it, and send it out so I can get my hands on it. Like even with people that are outside the community, I have them. They're hitting me up on my Instagram and my Facebook, just giving me their insight of what they want to see. I have right now we're working on a 15-inch handle for a customer. It's not our forte. We're not there yet, but you know what? We jumped in and said, you know what, we're going to do it. So we're picking up some dark red cherry wood for him, or some Badunk, whatever looks darker for him that he likes.
Mm-hmm.
And he legitimately, he's picking from the bottom up. Like, he's starting with the tree itself and saying, look, this is the color that I want on the wood. And it gives him the opportunity to put his input.
Yeah.
So I don't shy away from anybody. I always try to keep it, 100% about them when we're conversing about it. So if it allows me to do it on the shop on the site, then I will 100% I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't, like I said, if it doesn't free reign that way, my personal contact is always open.
Really quick, you have another question here. What's the turnaround time for this order?
Depending on if they can get the thoughts out fast enough, I can get it out.
There you go. There it is, man. And I really quick, I want to do a toast to the success of Resin Kings, man. I like what you're doing. So here's to hopefully, good business. I like it. I like it a lot, man. I'm a big supporter. Anything I can do, just hit me up. Let me know. If anyone has more questions, let us know. Paul says truth. Wayne walked me through the whole process from buying the wood to resin colors, and you know what? It's awesome because these people almost like tattoo artists, man. Like you walk in, sometimes you don't know what you want. They work within their talents. They make sure that you're happy with the product before they give it to you. And that's what it's about, man. It's that hardcore, that great Starbucks customer service, that people want to go. They go out of their way, and Wayne seems to, really care about the customers and really go out of his way to make sure you're 100% happy. Because it's also as a creator, it's something that he creates, something that he's proud of as well. So it's always fantastic to see creators within the community to take not only pride, but make sure the customers are 100% happy with what they're creating.
And absolutely, I think supporting one of your own. I mean, 6-8 months a year ago, he was just a regular consumer, and now he's creating something. Everybody has their talent, except for maybe Caleb. But I think that all of us, a year ago, where were you at a year ago, Wayne? Where did your journey start on this?
Legitimately, a year ago, I was roughly about the same time. I just got out of what's it called, HEW1. It was a great experience for me because I've been there since day one when John did it. I met Ron a couple months prior to that, and we got to see the V1 shown at the expo in Vegas, and it was amazing to see that somebody brought something to the light and said, you know what, this is going to be my product. It's different. If people love it, they love it. If they don't, but it works really, really well, and it was a great experience to see that, you know what, I have the ability to do something different and give back and show that everybody's opinions matter. It's not like, I can get 1,000 of the same hose from China that's 10 cents off and for a cheap rate just because it's cheap. No, I'm saying people will spend the money to customize their personal. I brought out some sample tabs that we do. Like I said, we do experience color-wise. We always
nice.
drop a coloring to show people, this is what the color looks like when we drop it. These are the tabs, the designs that we come out with, the colors.
That's
so they
amazing.
can see it. They can see it in the resin. So here, when we were doing Jeremy's, it was the red, but we added more silver to give it the marble look to it. This is one that I'm working on now, which will be the.
Woo! Shit!
Oh
shit!
Game changer.
I didn't know about that one.
It just so I mean, if you guys can see it, here's Paul's little pearls that we were picking out. I dropped 2 different color pearls that he got to pick out and say, you know what, that's the one I want on the handle. These are just for me, just to. Here's a like a light pink that people can see. I was trying to cut it just to see what it will turn out to, but once you polish it up, you can see right through the thing. So it's just it's more, like I said, it's more to connect with the person purchasing it, to show them that we do care. We're listening, we're all ears to what they're looking for, what colors they want, and to give back.
That's amazing, man. That one with the glitter or the sparkles in it, man, that's something man. I haven't seen that on the market in any form.
It's gonna be crazy. What I want to do with it, once I cut it out and I put it up, I will send it out to you guys so you guys can see it. But it is something on the back burner right now due to the fact that I have a couple orders that are going out. We are making Chris's. We're waiting to customize it. So Chris,
I'm super excited. I'm gonna throw that on with my Derek Moses hose, and that's gonna be my everyday smoker right there. I'm super excited about mine. You know that. really quick, anything you want to add? Anything that we didn't touch on? You know, man, I think the audience here has a really good grasp on where you're coming from, who you are, what you're offering out there, and all the different ability that you have to customize these orders. Is there anything else that you wanted to really touch on before we wrap this up?
What I want to, honestly, what I want to say is that I want to shout out some people due to the
Of
fact
course.
that without this, I normally, without their support, I wouldn't be here. But yet again, it's just like, Jeremy, you, Travis, Alyssa, what's it called? You have Ron, Neve. Uh, Everybody is like, oh, you know what? You can do this. Let it, show us what you got. And they were pushing me to the test, saying, "Hey, we need 5 by Vegas," and I knocked them out. I legit spent 3 days straight because I messed up on one to redo one, and I put myself to the test to get them done and ready for them,
Hmm.
so that they were ready for the show. And now that I'm going through the trial and error, I'm fixing all the little mistakes that I've been doing, and they're coming out amazing. But um, I like the whole option, the whole enthusiast background is where that there's other people like me saying, you know what, can we do this and create this? Like I got to collab with a really good person, Derek Moses, for Sally. We made her hose. We sat there picking colors. We got on the group chat with a bunch of great people to put their input and pick out the material for her to show our love and support for her. And it came off that he came out with an amazing handle, or sorry, amazing leather wrap hose with the purple that everybody picked with the silver, and then I went in there with the purple heartwood and the purple resin, which came out phenomenal for her. It was a great experience to work with him on that to show the community that you can get it down to matching colors or just plain enthusiasts saying that, you know what, I want something different.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, dude. That the whole thing, and for people who didn't know, Sally was went through some hardship with her death in her family, and seeing the hookah community come together and get that order out to her, and her not knowing about it, and when she's at the lowest of lows, other people in the community who are more fortunate, other creators who really wanted to be a part of it and make and put a smile on her face. You guys really went above and beyond. No one asked you to do this. No one said, "Hey guys, we're doing something. Can you be a part of it?" You guys took it upon yourselves to really, make someone else's day. And I really think that she was really excited and really happy. I didn't really see. I think I saw the handle, but I didn't see the whole hose and the whole setup together. I have to get my eyes on that really quick. Bob says, "What's the typical cost?" And I know when it comes down to customized products like the Derek Mose hose or anything else that they offer, people are a little bit hesitant when it comes to cost. And when you have something like this that's created from nothingness and created for you with your own design and with your own color scheme in mind, the cost will be a little bit more than your average something that you can buy that they make a thousand of at your local store. So can you answer it without, I guess, putting people away from the product? Because I know cost is a big thing for a lot of people out there.
Legitimately, cost can vary. We came to an agreement for a steady standpoint where that we were happy with. Like I said, we're not in it to make millions of dollars. We're just in it for the consumer. Those people that can make, their own ideas come to life. So right now we're standing. If we're doing the standard hose or the standard handle at the 12 inches, custom standard. Like if I pre-made it and they're already on the batch, they're gonna go for $80. If they're gonna want the whole thing complete, it's gonna go for about $100. And then depending on if they're gonna go customizable, how in depth they're gonna go with it. I mean, I have, like I said, it just ranges on what material that they want. If it's a cheaper material, it's more expensive. If they're gonna do longer bits out of it. If they want more design to it, it might add to the total. But yet again, like I said, this is more of the enthusiast background where they can customize it to their liking.
Hmm.
So it's not that I'm saying it's going to be over $500 product, which we'll never get that high. But it could get up there about 150 depending on what they're looking at on length and stuff.
And you got to remember, like, your typical like aviator hose is it's gonna run you with shipping around 65 to almost $70, depending where you ship it from. You have, you know, your Mason timber hose, which is up there, which is $80. And remember, the timber hoses are somewhat of a batch release. I'm not too sure if they come with the silicone with it or not, but those things are about like $80, so it's the same price range. So it's very comparable. Your prices are very competitive, I think, in my eyes. Yeah, big shout out to. It seems like Ron was a big catalyst for you when creating this product, to see like someone with such passion, because I got to meet Ron in Vegas, and you can just tell that like he really cares about the product. He cares about the feedback. He wants you to have the best possible session using his product. So big shout out to Ron and Phoenix HMD with what they're doing over there. Jeremy, any closing statements from you?
Well, I got a few.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do you see, is there anything that you haven't done yet, Wayne? I know we've discussed a few things, but there's some things that are probably not ready to release yet. What can you add inside of that handle besides wood, besides resin, to make that pop?
Other than those two aspects, I mean, we're gonna play out with some different materials, such as pine cones. We're gonna cast some pine cones and cut them down, because when you lay them down, they give a different texture, a different look to them, which is amazing. And then I will disclose one that we are doing for a close friend of mine. We are going to put skulls in his, so we're going to cast them in resin, and then we're going to drop them in the handle first, and then we're going to recast it with a translucent color so he can see his skulls all the way through his handle. I know Chris is coming out with one that we are going to customize for him. I don't know if he wants to disclose it, what he wants people to see that we're going to do for him, but we're going to give him a little bit.
I'm sure the pictures will be up as the process is going on, because I want people to be a part of the process. I want people to see basically what it is that that you're creating for a member of the community. So I think I will bring in people, and we will talk about it either in future classrooms or in lives when me and Jeremy go live as well.
Yeah. So like I said, it's more of a just taking it and heightening the experience and showing off that I can do something different that nobody else can, and customizing it to the point where it's all their own. It might not play, and I'm not going to say I'm going to throw any leaves in there and say, hey, this is what you get. Good luck. No, it's going to be quality product, quality material, and quality time put into it, so I can bring, the enthusiast background for me to show off that nobody else can do this. It's a one-off.
Yeah, definitely. I completely get that. I just want one last shout out. Shout out to all the frat boys and girl that will be at the frat house in Chicago. We got myself, Chris, Travis. We got Andrew Ursum. We have the M from the AM, or the A from the AM Hookah podcast. Jewel will be there. Caleb, Cobby, and James, all them folks. And, something cool is going to happen on Sunday as well. Ryad has extended an offer to us to go and hang out on Sunday. So pay attention.
You got to tell them where it is. Can you tell them where it is?
It's a secret party. So, no, it's going to be at the House of Hookah on Sunday. All of us will be getting together there. Look forward to creating the flyer tonight sometime and putting all that together for you guys. He's extended a very generous offer for us, so much thank you, and shout out to House of Hookah and Ryad for allowing us to invade his space on a Sunday, and it is BYOB, so it should be a good time.
Really quick, I know that we're not really talking about Coles, but we had Brad Kurz. He had a question. And we don't want to leave out any questions, especially if people in the community, even if it's not pertaining to what we're talking about necessarily, we still want to make sure people get the information they're asking for. So he says, how important is decent coals? Because I found me a box at the local Arabic milk bar, and these things are so fucking flimsy. They shatter everywhere. Fire hazard, 10 out of 10. So
Coals are probably one of the most, if not the most important part of your session. You can have a great session out of a KM with a D hose, an Egyptian bowl, some Alfacher, and some really good coals.
No, yeah, I mean the coals really are gonna make it or break it. They depending on how much heat they give out, how long they last. It's either gonna and the taste, because some coals do give a taste which will muddle the tobacco taste, and you can taste it on the exhale. So it is very important for you to get quality coals. I'm a big supporter of Superior Cocoa. I like the coals that they have. I like the red box, the high heat. I do use Golden Deserts, and I use the Hookah John flats from time to time. I guess I switch it up depending on how much quantity I have left of each coal, but I am very particular with what coals I use. Jeremy, like, it depends. What type of coals do you usually go with? What? Jeremy's muted.
Sorry, I didn't want background noise to intrude on your voice, but I use a lot. But what I find myself from day to day is using the Superior Green box, the red box I should be getting here pretty soon. I do use the Golden Desert hexes every now and then for a foil only session.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, once you find a coal that works for you, just keep buying it. There's no sense in changing, because you know how your sessions are going to behave.
Mm-hmm.
And once you know how your sessions behave, you can tune that session. And it kind of seems silly, but you can tune the heat on your session using H&D or foil or combination of the two to a point that you're really, really enjoying your session.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wayne, I guess my last question would be like this: what's your ideal setup? Like, what type of what's kind of like one of your go-to tobacco brands? What's your bowl that you like to use?
I have right now I have different types of hookahs that we're going through, which is the Regal, my Prometheus. I go back and forth through every one of my hookahs because I love them. Right now I've been focusing on this amazing Regal that I got from the show. Just to let you guys know, I only spent $20, so
it's cool. It's true. I was there. He won it in the raffle. I was surprised when he won it. If you were near Wayne, you would have saw his face, and he was like, "What is this, a joke? Did I really win this thing?" It was great.
It honestly couldn't have gone to a better person, though.
Yeah.
Legitimately, I do want to shout out George for that, for giving everybody a chance to get in there and attempt to win. Luckily, you guys didn't win, but it's an amazing emerald green Regal that I got. I bought the crown tray with it. I do have a Prometheus, black and blue Prometheus that I got from as a gift for my birthday. These are just amazing pipes that I go through. I mean, I go back and forth through both of them. I now have Prometheus Micro or Micron, however they want to say it. I have a smaller one that I use from time to time. I go old school. I bought a shisha box for travel purposes because I don't want to break none of my expensive shit because I have some shitty ass friends who get drunk and throw stuff, but whatever. But my setups, they reflect my background in having that aesthetic appeal and looking at them and saying, you know what, I'm one off. I love these.
Mm-hmm. Well, Wayne, I want to say a big thank you from everyone here at the Hookah University for coming on, giving us some of your time. Obviously, you're a busy guy because you have all these handles to make. You know, you have a lot going on right now. I want to thank Jeremy for coming on, being co-host. Now he's part of the XSplit family. He's got a new layout going on. He's got 2 cameras, man. He's in it now. He's in it now, baby. He's invested.
Watch out. Watch out.
I want to thank all the people who in the chat for, taking some time out of your day, listening to what we had to say, because you could have easily been doing anything else, but you chose to tune in and participate with your questions and be a part of the live. I appreciate it. Caleb, Mr. Cactus Man, Ron, thank you, man. I didn't see you were in here before. Thank you for coming in, shouting out. You can always check it out. I'm gonna have this re-upload on the YouTube channel, and you know what? It's always great. Tune in next time. I think this Sunday we're looking at having Kyle Smith on with Ron from Hookah Junkies, and it's gonna be a good time. Always tune in because I like to have creators' perspectives, people within the community. There's a couple things I'm looking to do in the future with people within the community, get them a little spotlighted, and pick their brain on a couple topics in the future. So closing, I think that's it. Jeremy, anything to say?
Cheesecake time, Bob.
Thank you, Wayne, so much for coming on. I hope you guys had a good insight on what Resin Kings are doing and their product. If you have any questions on how to reach Wayne, just message him on Facebook. He's readily available, and he's always willing to talk to you guys on anything that you want to do, having to do with the handles, or just having a good chat. So thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you, guys. Take care.